Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to OneHubRacing. We are sponsored by Next Level Racing. This is round number 6. We're at the halfway point of the season, and we go to the Americas, Circuit of the Americas in Austin, Texas for the United States Grand Prix. Unfortunately, neither of our full-time commentators are here tonight, so I'm here. I'm Jess, also known as Jess Games 95, and since we liked him so much last week, we brought him back again. We've got Johannes once again. How are you doing?
Yeah, first of all, welcome everyone to the stream. I'm so happy to be here again, so thanks for having me here. And I'm fine, and I'm super excited for this race. I mean, last time was pretty exciting, to be honest, with rain incoming and some pretty nice battles there, and with the fight of the penalties. So I'm expecting some nice racing today as well.
Yeah, it's been very exciting last week. It was a wet race, which provided a little bit of interesting battling and only one retirement as well. So it was a bit of a surprise to see only one retirement, but it showed that they were able to keep it clean as the time progressed, really. So Scorpion was back to winning race last week as he got his first win since round 2. I believe round 2 was France. So he was back on the top step, which promotes him to the lead of the championship, with Peter Parker in second place after a dismal performance from Peter Parker, who only finished P17. So that was a bit of a shame for him. But Scorpion, I think, would probably carry the momentum into this week after an impressive performance last week with hardly any penalties.
Absolutely. I mean, he was the one who kept it clean and who profited from the mistakes of the others. So I will expect him to be at the same level as in Austria.
Yeah, definitely. And also providing the entertainment as well. Lee Hoffner, he got his second podium of the season as well by finishing P2, his best performance of the season as well. He likes Austria, doesn't he? Because he scored well in Austria last season as well. Pretty much everyone who took part in the podium tier last season pretty much scored points in Austria around this circuit as well. But now, as we head to the Americas, let's go through the standings quickly before we start the Circuit of the Americas. So Scorpion is in the lead with 93 points. Peter Parker in second with 75 points. Third place is Rayman with 58 points. Fourth is Lee Hoffner with 45 points. And we have Chris in fifth place with 44 points. Sixth place is Zeppadoodle with 42 points. Seventh place is Rich with 22 points. I nearly got that wrong. 8th place is Estimat with 19 points. 9th place is Vitinho with 18 points. 10th place is Riley with 17 points. 11th is Favre with 16 points, joint with Catboy Keith. 13th place is Konhoffner, 14 points. And we got Cam and Dexter in 14th place with 11 points. And we've got Ponage Town in 6th, 17th with 6 points. 18th place is TC with 1 point and OKK with 1 point, and King J yet to score. Now we do have a few driver changes in this league, as fortunately, Bruma has been moved down to the prospect tier because one of the drivers has quit the prospect tier, so Bruma has been moved down. And we don't have anyone that's here to replace him tonight, but he will join us next week, of course. So that should be interesting to find out about. And some interesting facts about the circuit. Texas has been around long, first held in this very circuit in 2012, with it first being built in 2010. 5 races won by Mercedes in the hybrid era. One notable win came from Kimi Raikkonen back in 2018 as well, and most well known for its 25 feet tall observation tower as well. So we've got 16 drivers here today, a few drivers missing. And it is a dry qualifying session here today, Johannes. So that means that they're all going to be going on the soft tyres, most likely, for their fastest laps.
Yes, indeed. But to be honest, I wouldn't count out the medium tyre yet, because some drivers have actually some concerns with the with the soft tyres, especially at the beginning of the race, because of the high temperatures. That's one of the biggest factors of this circuit. The tires do overheat quite quickly because of the circuit characteristics. Sorry for that. So you see the fast corners, and these corners are just brutal to the tires. And this is one of the things the drivers have mentioned in the interviews before. and this should be an important factor for this race.
Yeah, a few drivers were actually, I think majority of the drivers were saying that they were in the right tier where they were supposed to be in, because that's one of the other questions they were asked in the pre-race interviews as well. In particular, I think we got to watch out Peter Parker this race. Obviously, he didn't have a good race last time out, but he likes a bit of set to one. It's a bit unfair because you can't take the line out of turn 9 into the king of turn 10. He doesn't really like that, and he's not a big fan of this track. Most of these drivers, it's kind of like Marmite. You either love it or you hate it. But one of the things that a lot of the drivers have been asking in the pre-race interviews is about the tyre wear. Tyre wear plays a massive factor around here. If it's a one-stop, which it's not going to be, it's going to be a two-stop, then the softs probably won't be in use at all. But with a two-stop, they can literally go flat out, and then they can go onto the mediums and then do another medium stint. So that should be very, very interesting today.
Absolutely. And I think we can expect a total different race. And another thing is, will driver risk the strategy soft, medium, soft? Because, I mean, it's still a possibility to go flat out with the soft tire at the ends, but of course there you need to watch out for the high temperatures again.
Yeah, the tyres don't last very long around the soft compounder tyres, but we will go through that in a second. But right now, let's watch On Board with a lap around the United States of America with the amazing Riley Bydes. Now you're going to head towards turn 1, one of the more spectacular looking corners on the circuit. Rounding about 200 miles per hour, going into second gear here. And you're now going to be going through on the Pirelli Bridge now, heading towards turn 3. You could take these sets of corners flat out in the way, but you got to lift through the throttle pretty much, as I can't commentate on a lap from Riley Bydes, as Riley, unfortunately, has invalidated. So, unfortunately, the curse continues. I'm trying to see who else is on a lap that I can follow, actually. Let's go on board with Dexter now. Unfortunately, since last week, ILRT has disbanded, so that is why he doesn't have ILRT in his name anymore, but he's still racing for Pure Glory anyway. We're now approaching the DRS zone of turn 10, and I need to try and remember my corners, 11 and 12, I believe, is the DRS zone, and you're going to be turn 13 and 14. Shift off to 5th gear and then decelerate to 3rd, and then go to 4th and 5th gear again. Then into 2nd, a little bit of a lock up there that might have costed him towards turn 15 and 16. Now going through turns, well, pretty much turn 17 to 19. It reminds me of Turkey Istanbul Park, famous turn 8. It kind of reminds me as well, going through 18 and 19. Scorpion's on pole at the moment, but we're going to go across the final corner for Dexter, and it's a 1:32.6 for the AlphaTauri driver, and that puts him in P3. And Cam is in P2 with a 1:31.8. Still not many people to set their lap times. And I think one other thing to say, Johannes, it is penalty central around here, so expect a lot of invalidations.
Absolutely. I mean, you just need to have a look into the track limits here. It's pretty open, and with the zones here, with the asphalt here on the right-hand side and on the left-hand side outside of the circuit, you need to be careful not to overdrive the car and to use too much of the curbs on this circuit.
Yep, exactly. As a KK, Dexter's teammate actually beats him at the moment. P5 on track, 1:32.1 as well. And there was quite a few incidents last week, but a majority of people were keeping it very, very clean as well throughout the race. And one thing to mention about the teams press conference is King J has had a little bit of a spin there towards I can't remember what corner actually, but Chris goes on pole. But we've had Alfa Romeo and Red Bull were called into the press conference last week, and Alfa Romeo was questioned about their performances in Podium, Pinnacle and Position, because Alfa Romeo Prospect were doing very well. Any updates for the car? Red Bull was seen to be doing very well in all the tiers apart from Prospect. So Alfa Romeo, team boss said, we'll always look to improve, but maybe focus a bit too much on the bottom tier, but we need a bit more consistency from the drivers. The Red Bull, they both have the speed, but they need to stop crashing for the Prospect here. But everyone else, the Red Bulls have been performing quite well. Zeppa in 8th, obviously got a podium last week, so should be interesting now with 11 minutes left to go. Times are going up pretty fast at the moment, but they haven't got long left.
Yes, indeed, they have around 11 minutes and 30 seconds left, but I think at the moment there's still enough time to be calm and to just do some quick laps. But as a little caution for those drivers who have invalidated the lap, they should stop that.
Yep, Zeppa is on his out lap at the moment, and there's a few action zones that the drivers have been told to look out for. Obviously, turn 1 and 2, and obviously turn 9, 10 into 11 into the DRS zone as well as turn 15 and 16. We can see quite a few overtakes there as well. Now, Rayman in second place. Now, the last time I commentated on him, he actually won a race with 18 lap-old tyres on the mediums. I don't think that's going to happen this week due to how long the mediums last around here. It doesn't last long than other circuits. Around Belgium, where we were a few weeks ago, you can stretch the mediums pretty much for majority of the race, but for this track, you can't. So Rayman is going to hope other people do not improve on their lap times. Now, Farf is just coming, as Farf has invalidated his lap time. That is not good. I'm just seeing anyone else about to cross the line. Peter Parker taking the shortest one to the line, and I do believe he's about to start a lap. I thought he invalidated them, but nope, he's about to start a lap.
Yeah, I'm just having a look into the field as well. I think the only ones on a clean lap are Zepa, I think. Catboy Key, Peter Parker, Riley as well, and I think he had the fastest sector. So this should be interesting indeed.
Yep, 9 minutes left to go. King Joy, I think, has gone into the pit after his spinneroonie, unfortunately. Rich is about to start his lap as well. Rich was looking quite good in this tier a few weeks ago, looking quite consistent as well. And he's hoping for a top 8 finish tonight, but he's currently in P15 at the moment. So he needs to do quite a lot if he wants to go into the top 8. But he was consistent a bit towards the end of last season. This season, he's been safe, fair, but inconsistent. And he's going to hope, like some drivers, that there is going to be a safety car. But there has been a few seasons around COTA, because there hasn't been many seasons around COTA, where safety cars have been quite common. And there hasn't been many 2 stops around here. I think the last 2 stops, I don't think there was a 2 stop. It might have been one in season 13. I can't quite remember. But I just don't know how they're going to fail on this track in terms of strategy. Maybe softs, medium will probably be the best strategy to go on, as Rich is slowed down, as he's invalidated, and I cursed him again, and that's not the best situation to be in for cursing another driver. That's not good as well. TC as well on a lap as well. I expect some of these guys will probably try and use turn 11 and 12 to give a little bit of a tow. Maybe Farf and I think, is Farf in the Alpha? Yes, he is. So Farf and Riley, they could be using a little bit of teamwork to work together as well. Chris and Scorpion, I know they'll be working together as well, getting the tow there as well. So I think that's what helped Chris out, and maybe Scorpion out later on. I think Kong Hoffner would have used his brother, but he's not here tonight. And we've got the 2 AlphaTauri as well. I think everybody else, they don't have their teammates to rely on in terms of slipstream. So they're going to be all on their own tonight in terms of that front when they get into the DRS trains.
Just a quick reminder, look at the racing points. They're currently in P2 and P3, so good laps from them.
Yeah, Peter Parker has invalidated though, 130.3. Oh yeah, I forgot about the 2 racing points. I'm an idiot. Thank you, Johannes. But yeah, Cowboy Key has been looking really good on track in the race, but he seems to be getting quite a few penalties, and he's a guy that has been good, improving on form as of yet. He was actually really happy when he got promoted to the podium tier, and he said it's been the closest competition he has ever had at the moment. And he described his driving style as not keyboard anymore, so I think that means that he's probably a little bit more smoother in terms of the wheel and stuff. I believe he's on the wheel, I'm not entirely sure. I just need to ask that after the stream. A few more invalidations. Still 4 people yet to set a lap time. The 2 Alpha and Mayors, the Rich as well, and obviously King Jorrit, and he's not going to set a lap, is he? He's just hit the wall in turn 11. So Yep, back to the pits he goes. I think he lost a bit of his end plate as well. I'll check Taz in a minute just to be sure about that. But yeah, that means he hasn't got that long to go. Chris is about to start his lap again. Actually, no, he's going into the pits. He's just invalidated.
Yep, that's a shame to happen, but I think that's even worse for King. I mean, he's lost his end plate, so he needs to keep his act together and set a lap time now. This is very important for him, because his time is running out.
Time is running out for, I think, for pretty much all these drivers as well. So something to keep an eye on. And I just needed to change my sound a little bit as it was getting a bit too loud. So I do apologise about that. But luckily it's fixed now. As Rayman comes across the line in 4th place. So he improves quite a bit on his laps. I'm trying to get, the one thing I forgot to actually check was the steward's briefing from this week, so I'm actually going to have a look at that in a second. Have you got information about that?
I'm going to check it as well. Whilst the rest of the drivers are setting some lap times now.
My phone is being so slow at the moment, so I apologise.
So, we have some incidents here in the podium tier. We had an incident between Riley and Chris, but the stewards have decided no further action here because of a reason that Riley is behind Chris before his final qualifying lap, and Chris had to avoid a car in the middle of the road for the final 2 corners, and Riley seems to have decided to overtake Chris here, and the stewards believe that both drivers could have waited for the other to start the lap. And that's a critical thing here in qualifying in general, because the traffic can be pretty brutal.
Yeah, I think we could expect a few more incidents, I think, this week due to the fact that you have to get past the traffic a bit more, especially if you do get lapped as well. So something that you rely on your teammates a little bit. Meanwhile, Riley has just gone purple sector 2. So that is really good to see from the Alfa Romeo driver. Just a quick point out to mention as well, the fastest sector 1, set 2 and 3 is set by Chris at the moment. So the last time I commentated on the podium tier, there was 3 drivers that had the fastest sector each, but not in the likes of Chris. He's got purple at the moment, but Riley comes across the line now and goes 5th fastest with a 1:30.6. Just look at the gap between 1st and 7th place at the moment. That is really great to see. So turn 1, you've got to watch out for. Turn 11 can be compared with turn 1. It often leads to late overtakes if you go up the inside. Usually if you go up the inside of turn 11, sometimes the game sometimes glitches you and probably sends you to a spin, so you don't want that. Turn 16 as well. And also the stewards have told everyone to keep an eye on the wall on pit entry. Sometimes people lose it there and they could get damaged there, so something to watch out for this season. And obviously these guys, it is probably one of the closest podium championships we have seen in a while. I think a lot of the time the championship has been swung on its head with I think pretty much every week the championship lead has pretty much changed. Last week I believe it was Peter Parker that took the championship lead. This week it was Scorpion Hun as well. Now Farf was called into the drivers' press conference a lot this week about his performance from last week. Would you like to say a little bit more about that?
Yes, I can do. So Farf has received the question how his start in the league has been and how he's feeling here, and he has said the starts have been decent, but he had some few penalties that costed him some wins or podiums. But he's showing that he means business here and he wants to fight for top spot.
Yeah, he's not been doing too bad as a new driver. Don't forget, he joined midway through the season as well, and he's doing better than some of the other drivers that have been here since the start of the season. So it's shaken up a few things a little bit, and it's given some of the other guys, like this guy King Jurett, a chance to step up a little bit in 16th place at the moment. I do believe this is his first race back since round 1. I can't remember what round 1 was, but no, it was Zandvoort round 1. So, and he hasn't turned up since then, but he's now back for USA. So he must be in a lot of pressure considering that he's only turned up to 1 race and he's got 5 more races potentially to kick things up in gear and score some good points for the Ferrari, because Ferrari, in the team's criteria, they expect a lot from King J in this championship.
Yeah, I mean, it is well known that Ferrari always have high expectations, and I think King will be able to deliver, but of course now he needs to prove it. This could be tricky, but it depends on how drivers do react to the kind of pressure. We see many drivers fail under these circumstances in real life. Can this happen here? We should find out.
Yep, he's in last at the moment, and he's struggling again. He's invalidated, and we got one retirement of Con Hoffner, but he's retired in the pits anyway. I think that's going to be his lap done. He's going to be starting no higher than 16th place, because that's where he's put him in the standings. But we got 52 seconds left to go. And don't forget, if you want to find out how your favourite driver is doing in the race, don't forget you can use our lovely Taz system, which we've got the YouTube bot set up right now. So if you do !help, you can see what their best lap was, what their fastest lap was, and stuff like that. And you can find out any penalties that people get during the race as well. So maybe if you're jeffing someone, or if you're just watching out your favourite driver, it can help you. Scorpion has retired then. Peter has invalidated his lap then. So quite a few people can't improve on Chris's lap time. So maybe Chris will be safe for the time being as he goes towards the final corner. Nope, he invalidates too in the final corner. What about Catboy Key as he goes towards turn 12? Let's see what his set to 2 was. I'm going to have to double check. Purple. I think that might be a game glitch because he's not telling me on Taz that he's purple at the moment, but we'll have to wait and see. The checker flag has fallen now. Riley's not going to get in time. Vitinho, he's going for the start of set 3 now. Who's about to cross the line? We've got, I think, another Alpha. I believe that's far, but he's not. I don't think he's going to make it unless there's a timing glitch on my screen. Nope, he's invalidated, so he's going to go in. We've got a racing point as well. Who's that? I think that's Catboy Key. And he goes pole position.
Wow. Unbelievable. On the last minutes of the session.
Don't forget, there's still other drivers still yet to set a lap time. Chris is invalidated, so he can't get pole position. Riley has invalidated as well. Dexter can't improve on his lap time, so he's retired. Zeppa has invalidated. What about TC? He's 2 attempts down. King has binned it in the final few corners. TC has invalidated too. Now let me check. Rayman. He's invalidated. So that's it for qualifying. And your pole man, you're the first. Well, actually, this is his first pole position. Is Catboy Key. He was expecting, I think, top 10, and he got higher than that. Pole position 129.9. Incredible.
Well done to him. Really good lap here. He's actually the only man to have crossed the 29 mark, so that's highly impressive.
Yeah, but I've just noticed that as well. We're only drivers to get into the 129s as well. So well done to him. And I think we're just waiting for one driver to retire from the session, I think, at the moment. I think that's Rayman in the pits. And Riley, yeah, Riley goes into the pits. So, yeah, he goes in nice and comfortably at the moment. And hopefully Riley retires very quickly, because otherwise we are going to be having a little bit of issues right now, because it just sometimes when you go into the pits, it sometimes ticks down, and then that's it, and then it just waits until someone retires. So that is a bit unfortunate, but hopefully you can get back in shortly. And we've got Catboy Key in first, Chris in P2. So Chris hasn't scored. I think Chris has won this one of the races this season. He won the first race in Zandvoort, but he hasn't won since. He got P3 in round 2, 13th in round 3, a DNF in round 4, and an 8th place in Austria. So, you know, I think probably he's going to hope he can score a lot better here tonight, and I think that's going to help him. And we've got 2 Mercedes in the top 3. That's pretty good. So we've got Catboy Key, then Chris, then Scorpion, then Peter Parker, then Vitinho, then Rayman, then Riley Buys, then Con Hoffner, then Cam, then Zeppa rounds up your top 10. Then we've got Rich in 11th, Dexter in 12th, TC in 13th, KK in 14th, Farf in 15th, with Farf and King J not setting a lap time on the board around the sunny circuit. I don't know if it's going to rain, so I didn't check the chat. So, but I didn't see many people on the medium, so we could see a wet race like last week. We could see the curves come back again. I always like to do that when I'm in the commentary box. And nope, it's not raining. It is quite overcast, but it could rain towards the end. You never know. So we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, that's the tricky part here. As a commentator, you don't know if it's going to rain, so we need to rely on some sources, maybe from some drivers. I mean, I had the lucky chance on one of the leagues to get some infos from drivers if it's going to rain. So, yeah, as long as no one speaks, we are actually clueless and we have to guess if it's going to rain or not.
I actually like that. It's a bit of a surprise, to be honest, for me as well, because the commentators don't usually get information in real life anyway. So why should we get information in real life? That's the only thing really at the moment as well. So don't forget, we got to mention one of our sponsors, Next Level Racing, which I think I'll let Johannes go through in a minute, but I'll go through the other sponsor of Liam13. He's in the Prospect Tier Racing, and sometimes he usually streams his points of view, which you can check out on, I believe it's Facebook, which he does now, facebook.com/Liam13, and he's providing the trophies for us this season. And the way things are going for Liam, he could be potentially in the cusp of getting his own trophy, so that should be interesting. And do you want to talk about the other sponsor, Next Level Racing?
Yes, I can do. So Next Level Racing is providing some rigs to the Going Gets Tough winner. So just as a little explanation for you what this award is. It is an award where the driver who finishes the season outside the top 3, completes all the interviews and attends all the races, will be qualified for the award and has a chance of winning some nice prizes sponsored in sponsorship with Next Level Racing.
And there's 11 people that are in the running for this award, and from some of these guys are in this tier as well. So not going to say who it is, because otherwise it will disencourage some people to do the interviews that have missed interviews already. So we're not going to tell them anyway. So looking at the tyres that they've chosen, so outside the top 10, everyone's gone for the mediums except King J. So I think King J is predicting an early safety car, whereas the other guys outside the top 10 are predicting to go a bit longer on the mediums and then do some soft stints towards the end. But don't forget, it's a mandatory 2-stop. If they don't do the 2-stop, they will be disqualified from the session. Just like we saw Kelvin in the position tier last week. He got disqualified from it in Prospect a few weeks ago in Belgium. We saw Cloudy and Nicky got disqualified. So we had 3 people this season being disqualified due to forgetting to 2-stop. But since the short season, you're more than likely you could forget from time to time, because there's other people that race in other leagues as well that also 1-stop. So it's easily doable, but this tier's usually been quite good. I think no one has actually forgotten so far. Cam actually forgot in Austria last season, but let's hope he doesn't forget this season as well. But yeah, who is your top 3 prediction for the race?
Oof, that's tough to predict. I have to be honest, but I guess after Scorpion has impressed me a bit in Austria, I would say he will win the race ahead of his teammate Chris, because he's shown some good pace around this track. And I wouldn't count Cat Boyke as well, but I'm sorry, I'm not really trusting him in terms of the penalties, so I will say he will finish in 3rd.
Okay.
That's my top 3.
I'm going to go Scorpion, Peter Parker, and Chris. That is going to be my predictions. I'm playing it a little bit safe there, but sometimes being safe is better, because usually when I go bold, it does not work out whatsoever. Anyway, the 5 red lights are on. Catboy Key is on the left. Chris is on the right. Let's see who's going to have a better start into turn 1, and it's lights out, and away we go. Catboy Key's got a really good start, but look at Scorpion, and the other racing point of Peter Parker is going to be 4 abreast into turn 1. But look at this, Chris has the race lead from Catboy Key already as they all go down the sweeping of turn 3, heading into the S section at the moment. All of them going side by side at the moment. Zebra's gone off a little bit there in the red bit of the circuit, so he's lost a few positions as well. Father's gone up into 9th place because of it. But yeah, some good signs from Chris. Scorpion's dropped off a bit. Vitinho, the Williams driver, is already up into 3rd place already. And we got a yellow flag, and it is Zeppa that spinned it. And I'll need to check if he's got damage. But yeah, he's definitely got damage there. It definitely looks like he's got damage. But yeah, good start from Chris and a good start from Vitinho down in 3rd place.
Yes, indeed. What a start from Williams, but also what a start from Peter Parker. But a shame that he was an inside line, because it isn't always the best line, especially here in the first corner. That you really need to be on the outside line. So a big shame for Peter Parker. But at least he's tried, and they were at least 4 wide for a short moment. This looked pretty insane.
Yeah, because Austria, I was watching Austria last week, and I don't know how they went like 3 abreast into turn 4 a few times. So please don't go 4 wide into turn 1. It just does not work out, guys. Just don't. I see a few guys actually going for the gamble, soft mediums. Peter Parker's going for that, according to his strategy, which I think is a bit of a risk. But since it's overcast and the tire temperatures are a bit lower, then maybe they could do that. We'll have to wait and see. Meanwhile, Scorpion is around about, I think, a few tenths behind his rival Vitinho. Vitinho is now up into P2 at the moment. Unfortunately, Vitinho is ghosted for me on my screen, so hopefully the timings will go away pretty soon. As the timing sheet it's a refresh glitch, I like to call it. It's not very good right now, as we got Catboy Key in, I believe. Is he P2? Yep, he's P2. So Vitinho's not P2, it's Catboy Key right now. It is Scorpion that's chasing down Vitinho. Now, DRS is not enabled yet, but Catboy Key is trying to cover the slipstream and try and not get the other cars get the slipstream as it makes head. But here comes Scorpion then. Goes to the left-hand side into turn 12. He's going to get the inside, the shortest line possible. They touch just a little bit, but no contact there. Vitinho holds on to the outside there, and he gets P3. Nice defending from the Williams driver. If he keeps this up, this could be a good race for him.
Absolutely, but look behind. There are so many cars up behind. Look at that. There's Peter Parker in the race point. Con Hoffner even in the Haas. Still behind. So if the Williams is keeping this up, he might be able to profit from it. Look at Peter Parker. He went wide for a short moment. You should stop that, because this could be pretty risky in terms of the penalties. And we already got some. I want to mention that as well. At the back of the pack.
Oh, King J is out the race. Where did he bin it there? Oh.
I think he spun.
Final corner. Final corner, he spun it there. That is...
The safety car deployed.
Yeah, the VSC deployed. I'm actually quite shocked that there was no safety car there. But I think for some of these drivers, they're probably going to be relieved that there's no safety car. But if there was a safety car, majority of people on the softs would have probably pitted it anyway, and will maybe try and go on the hard compounded tyres to use, because they're not going to use the hard compounded tyres anyway unless they have damage or have to be forced to pit due to the safety car as well. And Scorpion is looking like he's going to add more points to his 400 points club tonight, because we won the 13th active driver in OneHub history to get 400 points. He's probably going to get more than that tonight if he's trying to get past Vitinho. But look at this, Peter Parker going very aggressive there, going into turn 12. But I think that's conceived there. He's going to try and get another run here into turn 13, 14 and 15. Oh, a little bit late on the brakes. He almost hit the Mercedes driver. That was very, very close, wasn't it?
Absolutely, but that was a bit unnecessary. This could destroy the tires even more, and that's not necessary for the beginning part of the race. It only increases the tire degradation and of course the tire temperature as well, which makes the car even more unstable. And look at that, there's the Alfa Romeo attacking Con Hoffman there.
Yeah, Con Hoffman's under pressure. Oh, a bit of a touch there. Wow, that that almost ended up in the shunts, but luckily it didn't. So
Look at the Ferrari!
So I'll let you do this one. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, he's ahead. What a move there! And look at F1 Faf! Oh no, there's a spin!
There's a spin, yellow flag. Riley buys. So Riley buys has
Collision.
spinned it. Oh no, he was
Collision
doing
between
so
the
well
teammates.
as well. Yeah,
I can't
collision.
believe it.
Remember Hamilton and Rosberg in Spain 2016, I think? I can't remember when they collided and that forced them to be out of the race. Well, luckily that didn't happen here, because otherwise they would have had stern words, I've got to say. Meanwhile, let's jump back with Konghofner and Peter Parker, as Peter Parker gets the lunge, I think, on Konghofner once again. Konghofner's doing very well to try and get some move done, I've got to say. I won't be surprised if pretty much everybody gets a time penalty here this evening. Whoever gets no penalty, I've got to say bravo to them, because that can reward them so much in the race. I'm seeing quite a lot of people's batteries being drained very quickly as well. There's not much straight around here though, so more corners, I've got to say. So at least they can save their ERS a little bit more. In particular, towards sector 3 is what we've got to keep an eye on here as well. So if I just look at the tyre data, which I was meant to check ages ago, the tyres, the softs, last about 12 laps here. Optimum pace around about lap 9, lap 10. So ideally that's when they want to pit as well. I do see some dark clouds in the sky, so we could see some rain. We will see. I thought I saw some raindrops for a minute then, but it was probably my eyes deceiving there, Johannes.
I think that was the hope of getting some rain.
Yeah, it was.
But I have to say, some close racing here, and to be honest, I'm a bit disappointed in Cat Boyke. He's not really keeping up with Chris, but I'm checking, he has really drained his ERS at the moment. Look at the Williams here, Vitinho, he's going for the move, but the race point is defending. Another close moment there.
That was very close.
Absolutely, and adding to your point of getting penalties, I agree with you. I mean, look at the battles here. Drivers will get a lot of penalties here for sure.
Yeah, I will have a look on the TAS system to see how many penalties people have got, but to be honest, there's already been quite a lot already, and if they're not careful, they could get disqualified from the race, and just like that, Father's got another penalty too. That's not what you want at this stage of the race, especially if you're challenging potentially the top 3 of the standings, and I certainly want to be top 3, but I'll never be in that situation, I must say. But the top 8 are so close. Well, from 3rd to 8, they're so close within DRS train. Any mistake can cost them to probably go a few places down the order. Now, Riley Byes has been forced to pit for damage. No, he hasn't got damage. I thought he would have got damage from that, but it must have been a spin. But he's going onto the medium tyres early, and hopefully he could stretch those tyres long enough so we can go on the softs until the end, or maybe do another medium stint if he's not happy with going on the softs at the end. We'll find out sooner or later, but he goes out. He's 40th at the moment though. He's got a lot of work to do if he wants to get in the top 10.
I think he hopes for a safety car then as well. I mean, he had the spin, but I think when everything runs normal, he will go for soft, medium, because I think that's an early pit stop, and I think that's way too early for the soft, medium, soft strategy, at least in my opinion. But I'm really guessing that he's waiting for a safety car that he can take to his advantage. But we should find out.
I can't remember. I think Riley is a OneHub veteran, so he's used to racing in Kota before, but I don't think he wanted a result like this, I've got to say. But fingers crossed he can get up there a little bit more and find a little bit more time in him. Fingers crossed, I've got to say. Meanwhile, more people are going into the pits. We've got Rayman in the Ferrari and Cam in the Renault also pitting onto the medium compounded tyres for their first stop. So I think lap 7 is pretty much the first lap of the pit window, I think, as it seems around this circuit. So you know, for some of these drivers, they probably have to respond to that. None of the top 3 are pitting yet, so I think the question is, who is going to blink first out of those top 3 to see who is going to be pitting? And I think they could try and go for the undercut. Maybe if I was Vitinho, you're in a lot of traffic. You've got a lot of traffic in front of you and a lot of traffic behind you. So if I was Vitinho, maybe pitting now would be the best option to try and get ahead of your rivals. Potentially could be very, very powerful, and you'll be on fresher tyres, of course. I haven't seen much comment about the mediums, but I think you want to be out of the soft as quick as you can, really, around this circuit. So Vitinho, I'm quite surprised he's out of there as long as he didn't pit like the rest of them, but I'm guessing he wants to conserve his tyres a little bit more, because we don't want anyone to go in puncher territory, I must say, Johannes.
Yeah. But just as a little comment to Vitinho, I think I definitely agree with you here that he should pit, and he's doing that.
There we go. Yeah, and he almost hit the back of Catboy Key then. My, oh my, that almost could have ended. That could have almost ended in absolute disaster, but luckily it didn't. So Vitinho goes into the pit lane, and he's going into the mediums, and so is Catboy Key as well. Scorpion stays out, obviously to cover for his teammate, whereas everybody else is staying there. So only 3 people on the soft compounded tyres that are staying out at the moment in time. So it'll be interesting to see if their strategy pays off. Maybe Scorpion could do what he did in Belgium, stay out for a little bit longer and see how that goes. Oh, Vitinho has got a 3-second time penalty. That is not what you want, especially if you want to chase down for your first podium.
Absolutely, that's a bit of a shame, but I'm seeing his onboard. He's really trying to get to the absolute limits of the circuit to gain on Catboy Key. He really lost out to him, and we see Catboy Key on a soft tire, so he might attack. At least tries to get a bit closer to Chris, maybe, or to remove himself from Vitinho for a moment. But this could be quite interesting here with the different varieties of the pit stops. So we keep an eye on those guys.
Yeah, I think to be honest, keep an eye on everyone on the different strategies, because his strategies going to play a factor into either winning or losing this race. Only time will tell with these drivers now. Scorpion and Konghofner in the pit lane. Now Catboy Key has got a lot of work to do if he wants to get that soft medium strategy work. Don't forget, he has to go on the mediums or on the hards at the end of this race. Konghofner goes out of the pit lane then for his stop. Where is the question? Where is Chris? Chris is ahead of his teammate. And don't forget, Scorpion has got past traffic as well as Vitinho. Catboy Key has got less traffic to deal with as well, as Scorpion just gets past him on the S section. Fair play to him, I've got to say.
That was really close there, but luckily there was no contact, there's no damage, which was a bit lucky for Vitinho. But of course you have to try it there to not lose the position. A shame for Vitinho, so he really lost out here against the others. So whatever happened to him there. But now even Rayman is close to back to Williams.
You never know, maybe Rayman can throw a little bit of a surprise here and there as we go in later on into this Grand Prix, as he is on the mediums as well. Meanwhile, Scorpion is trying to defend again round the outside. We got Vitinho. He just didn't want to budge, did he, to try and get that move, didn't he? And it's going to go side by side again. Oh, keep it clean, lads. And they're still trying to. I'm seeing the improvement that Vitinho is doing to his driving. He was known as a dirty driver, but not today around here. He's doing absolutely incredible. Meanwhile, we got not Catboy Key, sorry, and we got Catboy Key's teammate and Peter Parker in the pit lane. Oh my God, this is insane battling. We've got Rayman, we've got Konghofner as well in this as well. Oh my God, this could be very wide. The KK has been forced, I think, to let go of these guys as well. And Vitinho having another look. No, he does not, unfortunately. the camera doesn't show very well this battle, sadly, but yeah, Coutinho, I think he's just trying to get rid of that deficit possible, really, and try and gain as much position as he can and try and increase the gap a little bit. Maybe that's what Catboy Key's doing. Catboy Key, I know, has got a few penalties, so maybe that is why he's on the soft, so he can try and get as good margin as he can. Meanwhile, Catboy Key on Rich. Rich on a different strategy to Catboy Key, so there goes past the Racing Point driver, and there he goes up into P2.
And nice. Is that a crash?
Yeah, there's a crash between Karen and Favre. They collided, I think. Both front wing damages.
Not good.
That is not good whatsoever. So both of these drivers will have to go into the pit. Meanwhile, KK having a nice battle with Konghofner. Well, KK still has to pit, of course. So let me have a look at which drivers still yet to make their first stops. Rich, TC, Dexter, and KK. Meanwhile, Zeppa has pitted twice, so he doesn't have to go again. But realistically, he will have to go again because he's on the mediums, and there's no way that the mediums could last until the end of this Grand Prix. So yeah, a KK now. It could be interesting. Some of these guys could go for fastest lap, because don't forget, you will get a point if you finish outside the top 10 and you're the fastest lap outside of these guys. So that'll be good as well. Meanwhile, Scorpion gets past Dexter, so Scorpion is still trying to get past more traffic too, which he's doing very well indeed. And again, as you were saying earlier, Johannes, traffic is definitely an important factor around here.
Yeah, and we see Vitinho being blocked by Dexter because he can't find a way past. This will be pretty crucial. He needs to find a way past him as soon as he can. Because look at that. Rayman is immediately behind. But look at the race for Peter Parker. He comes all of a sudden there, down the inside. And oh, this is a bit close. Looked like the Ferrari was steering into the barrier. There were 3 wide there. Look at that. That's amazing to watch there. What about there? Konghofner, however, gets the job done.
Wow. Insane from the Haas driver, but look at this. Peter Parker is going for the move once again, but he's trying his luck around here. He wants to try and close in Scorpion a championship, or he touched a little bit. I don't know what happened here, but it looked like Rayman went off the circuit a little bit there on my screen.
Yeah.
But I think it was just a lug tap there. I think if they go to the stewards on that, there would have been a racing incident. Meanwhile, Rich goes in to the pit lane for his first stop. Is he going to go onto the mediums or the soft tyres? That is my question. And we'll see what happens here. So here comes Rich at the moment. He goes on to... Come on, game. Show the tyres quickly. Soft tyres. So a lot of people doing the soft... Either the soft, medium, soft strategy or the medium, soft, soft strategy. A lot more than I thought. I'm guessing due to the fact it's overcast, they can get away with that.
That could be an interesting factor. Meanwhile, Catboy Key has actually closed down the gap to Chris. So keep an eye out on that.
Yep, as well. Catboy Key in second place. 6 tenths behind Chris, who's on the medium compounded tyres. Chris will be on a softer tyre by the looks of things at the end of this Grand Prix, whereas Catboy Key will have to pit for the mediums after they're a little bit locked up there for Catboy Key. But maybe Catboy Key is seeing something that the other drivers or us are not seeing, so that's maybe why Catboy Key is not pitted for the medium compound tyres. Meanwhile, Konghofner tries to defend from Peter Parker again. It's a nice battle that we're seeing, but however, we are seeing more penalties for these drivers. Zeppa getting a free second time penalty once again, but that's not gonna play a huge factor into this race. I don't think he's already in 14th place, and Fast got quite a few penalties as well. I have seen in a few games actually a few drivers getting 30 second time penalties and they get disqualified. Meanwhile, TC goes into the pits for his first stop as well. The McLaren boys are getting ready for him, and he goes on to the softs. There he goes.
This could be an interesting factor here with these guys on the faster tyre. I think they could try and go for the fastest lap maybe. or just try to fight against some other drivers who they are normally not fighting against each other. So this will be an interesting thing. Meanwhile, Scorpion has received his first 3-second time penalty of this race.
That's gonna be a big factor for our championship leader.
Look at Catboy Key.
Oh, here comes Catboy Key on Chris. Does he get the move done? Yes, he does. On those fresher tyres, Catboy Key is now your race leader. But for how much longer? Because these guys will probably be pitting roughly at the same time again, because that's what they did last time. So it'll be interesting to see how that works. Meanwhile, Vitinho is going to have a battle with Con Hoffner again. Con Hoffner is going to try and go for the lunge. Look at this. He's definitely my contender for driver of the day at the moment.
Absolutely, look at that. In comparison to where he qualified, what a drive here by Con Hoffner. I have to be honest here, really nice drive here. He's made up 4 places already. So, what a drive, man.
You know, I've got to say, I think he's learning from his brother, who's not here tonight, I've got to say. I think that's what he's doing, to be honest. He's learning from the driver who raced in OneHub before, and obviously this is his first season. So, you know, I've been very impressed with Con Hoffner this race. I'm really hoping that he doesn't get any more penalties, because otherwise it will undo his hard work.
Yeah, and speaking of penalties, Vitinho has got his next penalty, so that's not good.
Yeah, that's not good at all. That is not good at all for Podium. I know him around USA. He's a man that likes to get penalties around USA, so that was a bit unfortunate for him, but hopefully, he can see a little bit more sense and get less penalties. But I think he's going to probably go way down the order again. Con Hoffner tries to defend on Vitinho there, but I think he must respond to Jeff and tell him to not push too much on Vitinho, because he knows that Vitinho has got some time penalties under his belt.
Yeah, but I think we all know how Jeff is, so yeah, I don't put that much faith in that. But meanwhile, Favre has got another penalty, so his race is basically ruined anyway after that incident with Cam. It's a bit of a shame, but can't do anything against it. So yeah, let's look back at the battle for 4th place.
Battle for 4th place, it's getting very, very exciting. I can't wait to see the rest of this, I've got to say, from these guys. We're on lap 15 of 28 at the moment, and we are shaping it. It's going to be very, very tense. It's going to be very, very dramatic, I've got to say. So watch until the end of this Grand Prix, folks. Get your popcorn out, because it's going to get very, very intense between these guys. Scorpion's got a good gap between himself and Con Hoffner, though. But don't forget, Con Hoffner is on those fresher tyres, and he's going to have a little bit more benefit compared to the other guys. Points. Meanwhile, Peter Braga on Vitinho once again, both going side by side. Oh my goodness. I mean, I've got to say, Peter Parker's definitely putting up a fight. There's a bit of lag going on Vitinho at the moment, so this might hinder Peter Parker's progress as he goes to the left-hand side, and he gets the move done. Look at that. Oh no, he doesn't. Vitinho trying to hold back. He wants to get rid of that deficit as quick as he possibly can. He goes to the inside again. Now to the outside. Oh, Vitinho's forced wide just a little bit. This is going to be one. They don't want to be fighting too much, because otherwise Peter Parker is going to end up in a worse place into where he started right now. Speaking of position gains at the moment, we've got Con Hoffner's gained 4 places. TC's gained 3, and KK has gained 1. Everyone else has either stayed where they are or dropped down at least 1 position. TC getting another 3-second time penalty. We're already halfway into this race already. Anything can happen, of course, as we get towards the end of this race. The gap now between Chris and Catboy Key, 1 second. This could be proved to be very crucial towards the end, but don't forget, Chris will be faster towards the end. Will we see a Mercedes 1-2, just like we've seen in Lewis Hamilton's first race in a Mercedes around Austin. Or in 2014. We'll never know.
To be honest, I think this depends on Cap Boyke, however, because Scorpion is actually 7 seconds behind his teammates, so he's a bit far behind. But the race is long, everything can happen, so we need to wait and see what happens next.
Don't forget, you can check the penalties as well by doing !penalty on the TAS system, guys. If you want to find out how your favourite driver is doing and what the other drivers are doing around them, so you'll know if they're probably going to finish ahead of them or not. And that's a feature that I like to use in the races, I've got to say, when I'm watching on a Friday night as Cap Boyke. He goes into the pit lane to make his final stop. Now that's going to be very key. He's pitted before Chris. Don't forget though, he's got to go on the mediums. That is mandatory, but he's got to be on fresher mediums though. So there he goes. That is going to make it until the end of this race. So he comes out of the pit lane quite comfortably there, and I think he's going to come out ahead of Riley, who's still yet to make his final stop as well. And then we got Kong Hofner as well, who has just pitted for the... let me just check what tyres actually he's pitted on. The medium compound, yeah, medium compound tyres he goes on to. So that's interesting.
Yeah, I mean, he was on a soft tyre before, so it was only necessary to go to the medium tyre as well. So
yes,
it will be interesting to see how these two drivers can actually cope with that tyres.
Also, let me know in the chat as well how you think your driver is doing at the moment. As we've got, I think, Cam and TC having a little bit of a cheeky battle there, going towards turn 11 and 12. As here we go then, TC attacks from the right hand side. Cam has got to really defend to the left to really try and get this move done, but he's doing all he can. He's driven with all his might, still going side by side once again. Who said you can't overtake here? Well, Cam is proving otherwise. So well done to him.
I mean, theoretically, you could overtake everywhere if you have the big balls for it, but yeah, I mean, you need to be careful with the other car, but theoretically, you need balls to pass on every single corner.
And you need the risk as well.
Absolutely.
Almost certainly. Anyway, we got Rayman in the pits as well to make his final stop. So he's gone into the pits actually, onto the medium. So I think a lot more people are doing soft medium or soft medium, I think, more than I thought. So the strategy is just keep changing all the time, and we don't know what they're doing, as Rayman's lost a bit of his end plate there. That's not good. That's going to lose a little bit of downforce for him, but if it's only his end plate, surely he's going to make it to the end of the race all right. But the S's, that's going to be very tricky for him.
Yes, because they need downforce as hell, but he don't have it now, so he will lose way too much time. I think his race is effectively screwed. So he could theoretically go for the fastest lap now and just drop it to the end of the race then.
Yep, exactly. We got 11 laps to go. I don't want this race to end. It's been absolutely amazing so far. One of the best USA races I've ever commentated on. And this is why Kong Hofner, again, going for the big lunge on Camke. And TC is trying to get involved in this battle as well. TC's on the soft, don't forget, which only lasts 12 laps of this race. You can already see the skid marks starting to form already of people either spinning or trying to go for moves. Meanwhile, Scorpion is in the pit lane for his stop. Interestingly enough, Chris and Peter Parker and Bettina have not made their final stops yet. Neither has Riley or Camke, so they're trying to leave it to the absolute last minute. If they want to, they can go onto the soft tyres and have no problem with that. Scorpion, however, has decided to listen to me for once, and he goes onto the soft tyres.
And Hofner makes the move against Cam. Great move there by Kong. But what about TC there? Can he hangs it there? Oh! No, he can't, but it was very close indeed with Renault. And now he gets a penalty as well.
Yep, exactly. Yeah, that's a shame there, but Konhoffner, he's 2.2 seconds behind Scorpion, but knowing Scorpion on soft tyres, that's probably where Konhoffner is going to be at the moment. Meanwhile, KK has got a time penalty as well. I'm not going to be looking at penalties this race because otherwise it's going to spoil quite a lot of what might happen at the moment. I just need to turn my mic up, which I did, so all is good in that world. Oh, a little bit of a touch between TC and Cam at the back there. As we can see, Cam and TC going side by side once again. Oh, a little bit of a touch again there. I like it that they're racing fairly, I've got to say. I think no damage, whatsoever. But Cam K, I think, has to let TC go at some point because I believe Cam K has to pit, whereas TC doesn't. Oh, no. TC does have to pit, and so does Cam. Right, I'm looking at the stops, actually. Peter Parker will need to pit. Chris and Vitinha are pitting now. Riley will have to pit too. Cam is just going into the pits now. So Cam is doing the undercut on TC. I wonder if it will pay off for him. Meanwhile, we're watching on board with Scorpion at the moment as he goes past Riley. Will Scorpion get ahead of his teammate? Oh, he's trying to get past, I think, Riley in the process. Unfortunately, I think Scorpion stays ahead of Riley, but does not get past his teammate Chris, who's way ahead. Yellow flag. That is an Alfa Romeo.
Yeah, that's
Farf, unfortunately. I think he is known for being the driver's press conference curse this week, Sally. He's been put in the driver's press conference and he's had a horrible race, and he's out. So he's retired from the pit lane, which if you retire voluntarily, of course, you're meant to do that. You can't retire on track voluntarily, of course. So, yeah, brilliant stuff from, well, not brilliant stuff because he's retired, but he's done the right thing anyway. So, that should be interesting there. Meanwhile, Peter Parker, the only driver out of the leading bunch to the top four, yet to make a stop. Riley and TC, they're still yet to make their stops as well. If they don't make their stops, they will be disqualified. Rain Man making a really good move on Dexter. Dexter still yet to make a stop too as well. I think both of the AlphaTauris still yet to make a stop as well. So that should be interesting to see as well. Strategy penalties will come into effect, I've got to say, for everyone. I think I've seen penalties from every single driver. I think no one has got away without getting a penalty. Scorpion at the moment will get the fast lap inside the top 10, 1:33.4. That's not bad luck from him. Fast lap outside the top 10, as we saw one of the AlphaTauris going to the pits, as well as TC and Rich. That is Dexter in the pits. Fast lap outside the top 10 at the moment. Well, we don't know. Everybody's going into the pits at the moment. So I will answer that one once everyone has done their mandatory to stop. Cam comes out. He's in the top 10 at the moment. So he's in the top 10. Is he going to come out ahead of TC? Don't forget Cam pitted a lap earlier. Yes, he does. But we're still going to have a really intriguing battle between those two, though. Zeppa, though, in 12th place. Does he have to stop it? Oh, yeah, Zeppa doesn't have to stop again, but we know that the tyres are going to be a little bit of play a factor here. He's going to try and make it to the end, but it's going to be a bit difficult. I'm surprised Zeppa went on the mediums. I thought he would have went on the hards, and that would have definitely gone to the end of this race, but I'm guessing he thought he can take those mediums till the end of this race. Oh, look at this, Konhoffner. He's using the risk again, but again, Riley is on 14 lap on medium, so what's to be done there? So Konhoffner in 5th place. Wow. I'm not going to say much about Konhoffner because I'm worried I'm going to jinx him this race.
Yeah, please. I hope we don't jinx it now. Otherwise, we are not sorry for that. So, Peter Parker's in the pits.
Yeah, Peter Parker goes into the pit lane for a soft tyre. Where is he going to come out? So that puts Catboy Key in the race lead. Chris, 2.4 seconds behind Catboy Key now. He's on the fresher tyres. This could be a great battle for the lead, I must say. Peter Parker, he's got Vitinho. I think Peter Parker just comes out ahead of him. So there we go. That's worked wonders for Peter Parker. The undercut didn't work out well for Vitinho. Riley goes in the pits as well. So does OKK. I believe everybody has made their mandatory two-stop now, with OKK being the final one out of the podium tier drivers to make their stop. So yay, no disqualifications. That's good.
That's good to hear. But I think we will see another stop from Zepa, because I don't think tires will last until the end of the race. because even here in the database it says the medium tire should last 16 laps maximum. I think you can all guess that it's not possible, and yeah, so I think Zepa will be the last on the pit, and now we move on to the battle between Hoffner and Peter Parker. It's already done now. Good move there by Peter Parker.
I think it was a question of when, really, because obviously Hoffner is on the mediums. Despite on how much he was battling with Peter Parker all race, the delta is so much bigger on the softs compared to the mediums. So, you know, Peter Parker is on his way to potentially chase down his next, his championship rival is in 3rd place. But we don't know who's got more penalties, Scorpion or Peter Parker. I'm actually gonna, because if I get the dashboard up, it lags my computer like hell. So I'm gonna be getting it up on my phone. So I'm gonna do this a second. So if I do exclamation mark penalty and then 4, I'm going to see how many penalties Peter Parker has got compared to the other drivers. Hopefully that will give me an indication, but that's probably not. Probably not going to tell me a while. There's a little bit of a delay there. I don't know why, but we'll find out a little bit more soon. I know Vitinho's got loads of penalties anyway, so I know Colin Hoffner's definitely going to be ahead of Vitinho. Peter Parker's got 3 seconds, so he's doing it well. He's keeping it clean. He's only got 3 seconds, which I think that's where you gotta be. I think you either get 0 seconds or 3 seconds. What about Colin Hoffner? Let me have a look for Colin Hoffner for his penalty. No, I did Peter Parker again. Meanwhile, Vitinho tries to get past Colin Hoffner. He's in danger of losing a position, but he's on the soft. Vitinho gets past, but I think
that was inevitable.
It doesn't matter for Colin Hoffner anyway, because Vitinho, he's on so many penalties.
Yeah, but still was inevitable. I mean, the soft tires are just so much quicker, and the delta lies between 1.4 seconds. So it is definitely clear that the medium tire drivers are in a big disadvantage now. And we look at the battle for the lead there between Cat Boyke and Chris. I mean, the interval is now, the gap is actually now within a second. So Chris will have a good shot, I think, this lap maybe.
Yeah, potentially. Catboy Key's got to do some good defending in order to make this work. So I will double check about that one. I will see anyway. So meanwhile, Cam and Rainman are going for a move. Cam can get his best result of the season. Let us know who you think should get our Driver of the Day nomination. Don't forget we get to pick one each. I get to pick one, and Johannes gets to pick one as well. So something that we've been keeping a close full eye on. It's going to be a really tough decision, I've got to say. Meanwhile, Chris is within touching distance of Catboy Key. The ERS is hitting very low for both. Actually, no. Catboy Key's got loads of ERS to play with right now. So this could work wonders for him. If he could defend very well, then he could still be on shot to winning this race again. We don't know how many penalties he has got, but you know, we shall see as the race goes on. We're heading towards the crucial stages of this race. I will actually need to check who won Prospect 2 actually, because I didn't actually get to check who won that, but the position tier is still going on at the moment. I do believe that they're about to go to the end of qualifying, so make sure you check that out in a second. Oh, I think Chris is within DRS, so watch out once we get to the DRS range. This is hammer time for Chris, and I mean literally. He's in a Mercedes, he's acting like Lewis Hamilton at the moment, so it's hammer time for Chris.
Absolutely, and look how much quicker can take these corners. I think the only chance for Cat to win this race is to simply try everything he can to keep Chris behind and to hope that the soft tire is going to drop at pace anytime soon. So this is the only kind of chance he has. But I think now it's going to be over. Or is it? Or
is it? Chris is going to go. He's going to go for it. He's going to go for it. He's gaining on Catboy Key.
Oh, there it
we have
is.
a lock up. That's costed Catboy Key massively. No colliding with each other, lads, going into... Oh, no, I think Catboy Key had to concede there. A little bit of a swerve there. That's not done good for his tyres there, I think. Well, it was inevitable, really, again, for Chris. Chris could be on course to get his second win in OneHubRacing this season, which his first win was in the first round, well, one of the first few rounds. So, you know, he's going to be matching his teammate because Scorpion's got 1 win. Chris has got, well, Scorpion's got 2 wins now. Chris is going to be on course to getting a second win as well as they all go through. He's still within touching distance, so you never know with penalties how this could work. So it's, you know, I'm usually a person that doesn't like getting spoiled, but actually no, I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait. I like surprises. So, oh no, Scorpion's got a penalty.
This could be important.
I know Peter Parker's got 1, but I know Scorpion's got... The last time I checked, Peter Parker's got 1 penalty. Scorpion has got 2 now, at least. So Peter Parker is going to be ahead of Scorpion no matter what. The gap's now 2, so let me get the tyres up, because I know a few of you want that. There we go. Oh my god, this is going to be a intense final few laps of this race. Riley could be on course to getting some more points of this race. He's potentially catching up to Cam now in 7th position in the Renault as well. Zeppa's got another penalty, but again, that's not going to affect him in some way. The AlphaTauris, they're not having the best race. Down in, out of the finishers, last and second last place. I think they've got a lot of work to do if they want to improve for next week.
Yeah, and just as a quick note, if Chris is going to win this race, I think he will be promoted to 3rd place in the championship, actually, because Rayman is actually in P9 and Lehofner isn't starting today, so this is a great chance for Chris to move up to 3rd. And another note, if Scorpion just has the 3-second time penalty disadvantage against Peter Parker, that's Peter's chance to actually catch up a bit. I mean, those are, I think, 3 points. So these are very important points here for the championship.
Watch out for these guys. They are wanting to do well. I mean, this has probably been, like I said earlier on in the broadcast, this is the closest podiums here I've seen in a long time. I'm gutted I'm not racing. I would want to be racing in the United States of America, but unfortunately, I'm stuck in the comms box. But again, that's still a lot of fun. Catboy Key, is he in DRS range? Yes, he is. He managed to get in DRS range. That's incredible. So he's now 7 tenths behind. Zeppa's in the pits. He's going for fastest lap. No harm doing. I did that in Bahrain last season when I was a lap down, and guess what? I got fastest lap point. So, you know, that's probably what Zeppa's doing, and if it pays off, he could be walking away with 1 point. So, let's hope it works out for him.
Yes, but look at that. Catboy Key actually is catching up a bit to Chris, I believe. So, I think the soft tire is fading a little bit. So, this might become a bit close here for the lead.
Crossover point, maybe.
But the biggest but is in terms of penalties. I think Chris hasn't got a single penalty, and Catboy Key actually has.
Yep, I think Catboy Key 5 tenths now. I don't know about Chris's penalty, and I don't know about Catboy Key's penalties. Do not tell me. We're on the final lap of this race. This is the battle for the win, and Catboy Key is going strong. Catboy Key got his first league racing win last week in one league. Is he going to get his first ever OneHubRacing win? He was robbed away short with the win in Germany last season because of penalties. But this could be his one and only opportunity to get it here in the United States of America. Now, Sector 2, this is very, very crucial. He's got to get a good run, but Chris's soft tyres, it's dying to die. Catboy Key's getting a better run here. This could be his opportunity. Here he goes to the left-hand side. He goes. Is he going to hold on to that line? No challenge there. Catboy Key leads the United States Grand Prix. That was incredible move. I think Catboy Key has probably done the right thing there, but he's got to hold on for a lot of corners, because it's one of the, apart from Vietnam, one of the longest, probably the the most number of turns, I must say. I was trying to get my words out. So, the crucial thing is penalties. Is Catboy Key going to win on penalties, or is he going to be robbed away with a win like he did in Germany? Let's see. Catboy Key is going to take the win on track. He loses out again. Just like he did in Germany last season.
Peter Parker P3.
So Chris wins his second race of the season. Catboy Key P2. Peter Parker P3. Scorpion 4th. Kong Hoffner P5. What a race for him. Vitinho P6, but I know Vitinho's got loads of penalties. We'll see. Is Riley going to be ahead of him? No. 9/10.
Wow.
Wow. So Cam gets his good points in P8. Not a bad race for him as well. TC gets P9. Oh, Rayman gets P9 as well. Who's got fastest lap inside the top 10? Let me have a look. Inside the top 10, it's Peter Parker. So he gets the fastest lap inside the top 10. But what about outside the top 10 at the moment? It's Dexter at the moment. But
it could be Zeepa.
Yeah, it's just Zappa actually. Does he get the fastest lap? 1:32.7. I think he's done it, you know. I think Zappa's done it on the final lap. Just like Schnitzel did in Precision Tier in Belgium. We'll have to find out. That is a race. You had a horrible race. You try for the fastest lap and pit at the last crossball moment and you get the fastest lap point. That's a good way to forget the troubles, really. But it's Mercedes on top. It's not Scorpion this time, it's Chris. But what I've got to say, what a good race for both of the Racing Point drivers. Both Racing Points on the podium. Pink Mercedes?
Absolutely. Yeah, but we have to say the Racing Points did a really good job there. Catboy Key did everything he could to win this race, but sadly, the 3-second time penalty just was his main issue. Whilst Peter Parker did a good job here as well by recovering by simply getting one penalty less and by taking the overall fastest lap.
Yep, indeed. So the only people to not get penalties, convincingly, I don't know how, Chris, Riley, and come on, get the penalties up quickly, and Rich. Well done to those three for not getting penalties. Everybody else, shame on you. But Catboy Key only got 3 seconds, and Peter Parker did as well. So, yeah, well done to those two as well. But anyway, let's go from your order quickly. Chris, from Catboy Key, from Peter Parker, Scorpion, Kong Hoffner, Vitinho, Riley, Cam, Rayman, TC, Rich. Dexter gets the... it is Zappadoodle that gets the fastest lap point outside the top 10. And we got KK, and then your non-finishers, Fast and King J. Now we've got the tough decision for both of us. Who is going to be our Drivers of the Day nomination? I thought it would be an easy decision for me, but I'm finding it tough to decide. But since it's only your second race commentating with us, I'm going to give you the pleasure of you deciding first. Who is your Driver of the Day and what is your question?
Well, it's tough to decide because we have so many great drivers here today. We have Chris, who did a great job here from second place to dominate the first part of the race, and then doing everything he can to win with a risky strategy here with the soft tire at the end. But I think also Kong Hoffner's recovery was great. Also TC, good job there to finish in the points. But I think overall, Chris has impressed me the most with his outright pace here. He did a great job, and I think my question would be, did he actually thought that he could win the race prior to the race weekend?
You're going to make things harder for me now. Great. I'm torn between two people, I've got to say. I mean, Kong Hoffner's moves was incredible, and that's to P5 and stuff. But I've got to say, I know it may be a boring choice for some people, but you wouldn't be expecting this guy to get a podium, a P2 in fact, in the race, and he got pole as well. And if it wasn't for that penalty, he would have got P2, but he would have got the win. But my drivers, as much as I want to give it to Kong Hoffner, I'm going to have to give it to Catboy Key, because he got the pole, he got P2, his best result of the season. He needed this. He was hoping for a top 8. He got P2. And my question is, were you expecting to get in shot of a podium today? And did you enjoy that race? So yeah, those were your Driver of the Day nominations, being Chris and Catboy Q. You can vote for those on the OneHubRacing Twitter page tomorrow morning, so make sure you do check those out. And the thread will be up for the questions as well later on tonight. Don't forget, you can check out the Precision tier on right now as they're just starting their race with Luke and Matt commentating that. And in around about 10 minutes, actually, the Pinnacle tier stream will start with Austin and Jake commentating on that. So thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully Brett and Minty will be back next week. It's been a pleasure commentating on the action tonight, and thank you very much for joining me, Johannes. You've been absolutely amazing.
Thank you so much. I think you also did a great job today. And also, shout to the main commentators, Brett and Minty. I hope we did a good job there as well. And I hope we will see you both soon for the next race in this championship.
Yeah, indeed. So we will see. I need to actually check what the next race is. I do believe it's Canada. But I think it's Canada. I remember someone saying when I was watching the race last week, it said we're in the Americas section, so I'm guessing it's Canada. If it's not, then I don't know. But anyway, we'll see you whatever track it is next week for some more podium tier action. But enjoy the final 2 tiers tonight. If this tier is anything to go by, I'm looking forward to seeing what the final 2 tiers have to offer. Have a good rest of the evening, guys, and we'll see you soon. Goodbye.
Goodbye.